Introduce my friends. You guys, say who you are.
I'm Sam. I'm Jack.
There we go. And these are my buddies for the day, Sam and Jack.
Perfect. All right, Andy, go ahead and get us started.
All right. Andy Mosher, Review Journal. Sam and Jack, how do you guys enjoy Kids Day?
Good. Good.
Okay. There we go. Awesome. All right. To the game a little bit. AJ, you guys look really refreshed today. Obviously, off yesterday, off tomorrow. How important is kind of that rest for the body after a grueling road trip?
It was really important, I think, for all of us. We just needed time to A, get away from each other, and B, get out of the vegan sun. But it was definitely well rested for us, and we came out and we showed that. So I think I was glad to see our team just refreshed and ready to rock and roll.
Candace, playing against your former team in Chicago, just kind of an emotional game for you personally. I guess how do you deal with that, and how do you feel like you played today?
No, I think it's good to see everybody, and especially good to get back in Vegas. You know, I think just in terms of playing at home, it's been a lot of fun in the first 3 home games, just the energy, and I think we build off of that. So I think we have some of the best fans in the WNBA, so definitely build off that energy.
Jose, well, Candace, with this being another city, another team, another system for you to learn, how do you feel your journey has been so far finding your role with this team this season?
No, I think it's just coming in and not reinventing the wheel. I mean, obviously what they did last year was successful. So I think it's just learning my spots, learning my teammates, and, continuing to do that every game.
See, the Willard America Brother Sporting Tribune, we haven't had a chance to ask you this after the first road trip with the new system, but as you progress in your career, right, you're a veteran, are you starting to feel a little bit, or did this road trip take a little toll on you? How are you feeling physically?
I'm feeling good being back home.
Annie Constable from the Chicago Sun-Times. Hi, Candace. How you doing? Do you guys feel like you have played your best basketball yet? Do you feel like this team has really tapped into what it can properly do?
No, she didn't. She said y'all.
I did say y'all.
Do I feel like we playing our best basketball yet? No, I don't think so. I think we show spurts that we are together and we're in our system, but then sometimes we still have a lot more things to work on. But I think we're slowly starting to gel and mesh together a lot more. But no, I don't think we played our best basketball yet.
And then Candace, did you get a chance to catch up with anybody before the game, maybe yesterday, or no?
Yeah, of course. Seeing everybody, I mean, obviously Ka is the homie, always will be, and the coaching staff, just everybody before the game, giving me a hug and catching up. But I mean, it's great to see everybody, and I think, it's here is different than what it will, I think, be in Chicago a little bit. But, just good to get hugs and see everybody and say hi.
Terrell Emerson, Talk Back Talk Media. Question for both of you guys, actually. Asia, for you first. With as talented as this team,
Go ahead.
Yes.
with as talented as this team has made it a point to say that they want to make their mark on the defensive end. With the way that the shooting numbers look, the game really kind of changed in that second quarter with the back-to-back turnovers that extended the lead from 12 to 16. Kind of how much does this team relish in kind of making their biggest statement of the game on defense?
I mean, that's how we get our buckets on the other side. We play out of our defense, and when you look at those games across the board, when we're playing well on the defensive end, our offense is clicking, we're moving, we're grooving. But it's hard when you're constantly taking the ball out of bounds to kind of get into a flow of things. So we try to pride ourselves on the defensive end, and of course, we're going to get everybody's best shot, and it's going to be the day that everyone makes those shots. But I think the biggest thing for us is not getting in those lows where we just have constant turnovers and or on the defensive end, we're just looking bad. But I think that's how we roll. Like, that's what gets us going. That's what you see the aces that you're used to seeing is when we're playing out of our defense. So if that end's good, the offensive end is going to come.
And CP, question for you. We've talked at media day and understood that it was going to take you a little bit of time to find your rhythm in this offense. But even though this isn't one of the crazier stat nights that you had, right, is this in terms of feel just a game that can kind of catapult you into finding a rhythm in this offense?
I think the goodness of this team is that, I have time to find my rhythm. I'm not worried about it. I think, it'll come in time. And I think defensively, just as much as offensively, I think it's finding that rhythm as well and learning everybody. So I think that's my mentality.
Asia, it was almost a sellout crowd tonight. I mean, it took an hour to park today because you guys are just, on a roll and everything. But what's the love? What's the buzz you're feeling this season?
I mean, I would always say we have some of the best fans in the league. They're constantly supporting us through and through, and to be able just to see a sellout crowd on a Sunday afternoon, it's a beautiful thing to see. And I mean, I think the city's just we're feeling pretty good right now. And I'm glad that we can be a part of that to bring families, to bring people together. And it's just a lot of fun when we're constantly just having a lot of noise because the crowd definitely helps us out a lot. So we're thankful for them coming out and supporting us night in, night out.
I see a couple from the Zoom room, and then we'll switch out to Coach Hammond. James, go ahead.
Hey Candace, I said a quick question for you about Elizabeth Williams. She obviously has been one of the best rim protectors in the WNBA over the last, during her career. I'm just curious, what sticks out to you about her, from a defensive matches standpoint? What just sticks out to you about her defense?
Well, I think it's her size and her ability to cover ground. I think she's got great timing, and she blocks shots with both hands, which I think is the key to shot blocking. So she does a good job of protecting, not just, this season, but, throughout her career in Atlanta.
All right, last question, Sean.
Hi everyone, Sean Schultz, WNBA Switch. Two quick questions. First, for the boys, who's your favorite player on the team? And then for Candace, just how hard is it at this stage in your career adjusting to the new system?
Aces.
That is an amazing answer.
Aces.
Yeah, there it is.
Great. Those are
Easy
fantastic.
training, man.
Yeah. I think it's like I said, it's gonna take time, but at the same time, I mean, the goal is to win. So, and that's why I came here. So I think it's just, moving, learning our teammates, and continuing to get better game to game. We're not playing for a championship right now.
Thank you, ladies.
Thanks for the ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, I might just take yours.
Coach, if you'd like to give it
Obviously, just to get back home. Get a little bit of rest. I think we're still recuperating a little bit from the trip, but obviously nice to get back in front of our fans, get in our own bed, and put a solid game together. I thought defensively we did some really good things tonight, so I feel very confident in us when we're playing that in the floor.
Christos?
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. I want to question about the teaming up of Candace and Asia. How different is the dynamic of the team? What impressed you most about the way they both play together on the floor?
Well, I think they're both figuring out different spots that they can get to help each other and complement each other. But I think defensively, with their length, the rim protection can be very elite. Both really good hands. Candace was the defensive player of the year a couple of years ago. Really smart, savvy. So she helps us in a lot of different areas. And then obviously Asia, we want her to be really active on both ends of the floor. I think Candace is still figuring out just those spots, but as a coach, I'd love to get her in a little bit more high post action and on the block a little bit more. I think she's incredibly dangerous. They're scoring more passing from those areas. So we're still figuring that out together, but we got a little time to do that.
Nikias?
Yes, hi, Coach. It's Carter. It's one good win. This is one. Was that? Was that like boxing one thrown on the helicopter in the game? And overall, how did you feel about the defense today?
I thought defense overall was active. It was more physical. It's still, like I said, we're still trying to build good habits and understand our system. There's times that we do certain things and You know, it's like we don't, with people, you know, we have a certain way we do things. We have a program. And so, you know, it's still teaching constantly from the defensive end. And what was your other question?
It looked like you went to a little bit of a box. I don't know if that's going to be a conference first their game. So.
Oh, no, you tell me, you saw the film. Yes, it was. We got to stop and we gave them a 3, so they're 50-50 on the night.
Thank you.
Andy? Becky, just first off, how important was it to kind of come out and have a performance like this after a long road trip and the first loss of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just about getting back to you know, our identity, who we want to be. And that was really it. Like, I thought, you know, like I told them, I said, I could have clipped about the whole game in Connecticut, and we could have walked the whole thing through. But some of those games, sometimes it's best to just, you know, hit on 2-3 big points, and then move on, and not dwell too much on the past, given the circumstances of the road trip. So we hit on some big things, and I saw them come out and fix those things today. So I asked them, I said, do you want me to go through the clips? And they're like, no. I said, okay, then you're just taking my word for us. Like, we were super soft. Let's not be soft today. So.
Gotcha. And then you mentioned trying to get Candace more touches in the low post. She seemed really effective in that short roll though today. What do you like about her in that spot, and what can she do, you know, with her passing range when she's moving towards the basket like that?
I mean, she's a playmaker in that short roll. I like to get her in the short roll as much as possible. You know, I think at times when people are blitzing or hard hedging, they're trying to muck up the game or speed up the game. And I think when you get those short rolls, that the tendency is to hold it. And we don't want to hold it out of blitzes and traps. We want to be in attack mode. That first pass out is obviously important to get it out, but then that next action has to be some kind of attacking action, whether that's with the pass, the drive, whatever it is. And she's really good in that short roll area. But not every defense plays us like that. So it kind of just depends how we get her to those spots.
Hey Becky, Sandra Cousineau, LB Sports Biz. Jackie Young is kind of the quiet assassin on this team. She doesn't say a whole lot. There was a sequence in the third where she dove on the floor for a loose ball and then popped back up, called for her shot, and saved the quarter. 2, what are you challenging her to do more of in the game and in practice, even though she's a little bit quiet? She seems to be coming out of a shell a bit on the court.
Yeah, I mean, my thing with her is always just an aggressive mentality. Aggressiveness on the offensive end, on the defensive end, aggressive attacking mentality. There's such, you know, big personalities in so many positions that when you're quiet, you can maybe get lost in the shuffle, but I think she does a great job of, in her own way, exerting her imprint on the game. And so that's, you know, always my challenge to her is, you know, I think she can be one of the greatest to ever play. And I'm telling her that, and I think she's starting to believe she could be, you know, great like that. And so just encouraging that kind of mindset. Do you agree?
Hi Becky, Kelsey Plum posted 16 points today and she was playing hard today. What are you seeing from Plum this season and maybe a new hunger or energy she has this year?
I don't know that her hunger's new. That's been off the charts probably since birth.
Yeah.
No, but I think her playmaking ability, I think she's been labeled as just a microwave scorer. And to be honest, she hasn't shot the 3 well yet this year. But if you're game planning against her, you're still terrified of it. So nobody wants to let Kelsey Plum shoot wide open shots. That being said, so her ability to get downhill, she's really fast, but her rim reads have gotten to like next level. She does a lot. She's really important for our offense in the fact that she can get shots for other people. And then defensively, she's worked really hard. I don't think, you know, I think as she gets labeled a shooter, I think she's kind of broken that mold. I think she defends now. I think she playmakes now. She just impacts the game in so many ways.
Okay, time for 3 more.
Becky, you mentioned wanting to see more toughness, 50 points in the paint tonight. How pleased were you with their willingness to go to that area tonight?
Well, we want to be, dominant on both ends in the paint. And so, when a lot of those probably came in transition too, so getting those easy looks and not having to go against a half-court defense, especially a defense like theirs where it's very high energy, pressure you all the time, kind of speeding you up offensively. So it's really important to be effective down there, but we got good people around the rim. I mean, Asia got to have the ball. Candace can score down there. Jackie can score down there. We have people that can put you in the basket. Even Clark, she's a great post-up player. So we have different ways that we can beat you in the paint. And again, we haven't shot as many threes as I like, but I like layups too.
And Becky, you kind of talked about hitting on a couple of points from the last Connecticut game, but not only that, the road trip overall. Tonight, the team won the rebounding battle for the first time in 5 games. Was the only difference that you saw the effort and willingness for the team to go get the ball?
We had to work hard in that second half because I don't think we were very good on it in the first half today. I know we had 9 offensive boards in that first half, but then only 1 in the second. So the lock-in factor, a lot of times we're scrambling, and it just has to be an intentional mindset. Rebounding is a mindset. It's attention to detail, it's being alert, and being aware. And it was good to see us lock in on that end. Also, it's good when Asia and, Candace, are up in, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 every night. Asia and Candace have to impact the game rebounding-wise. I think they did that tonight.
Can you close us out?
Hey, Coach Trinia Barbie with Off the Lanes Productions. Great game. You guys are really tough to beat when you come off of a loss. That's kind of what the recipe was to lead you guys to the championship last year. You have set the tone for this city, bringing championships here. And just to speak homage on the Golden Knights, they are 1 game away from bringing in a championship to the city as well. What is something that your girls are even saying to some of those players? Because I see them at the game supporting and just being the camaraderie for the whole city, as they were the first to bring a championship, but now they get to witness another team possibly bring the next championship to the city.
I have no idea what they're talking about. I have no idea what they're talking about with the Knights players. What I will say is it's a very, the sports world in Vegas is a very small, family-oriented. When we won, I got texts from, Josh McDowell, the Knights coach, all the coaches, everybody, their players reaching out. So I think at the end of the day, this is a community with a lot of pride. And so whatever sport we're playing, like I said before, Vegas has turned itself into the sports capital of the world, in my opinion, with all the different teams and just summer programs even that go on in Vegas. So yeah, we'll be cheering for them. Hopefully another parade.
Parade inside my city, yeah.
Thanks.